Hello guys, and welcome to the second video of this tutorial series where we are looking at the programming language. Okay, so in this video we are going to look at variables, the data types, and then implicit and explicit typing. So I've added a folder for lesson 1 and then added a .dat file, implicit, explicit typing.dat. Okay, so what is a variable? So a variable is like a container that holds something. So this something can be data, which can be either a boolean, it can be a string, a number, an array, object, anything at all. Now, variables have unique names. It can take any name which consists of a number of characters. However, in that, as well as any other programming language, you can't use a reserved keyword as a variable name. So, for instance, you can use void. In that, you can use void, int, double, boolean, bool. You can use these keywords or words as variable names in your program. It would yield some errors. Alright, so the data types we have in that include string, int, boolean, double. There are other data types we will talk about in future videos. But for now, let's look at a typical example of a variable. Okay, so for a variable, for now we don't know any keywords, so I'm just going to tell you one. We have the var keyword. This is the general keyword. So var, and I'll give it a name, my variable, and assign it something. So I'm just going to say hello. Okay, so my variable, the keyword var, is going to infer the data type. Since we haven't specified any data type here, it's just going to infer the data type of the variable. My variable is the name of the variable. So the word my variable is the name of the variable, which is acting like as a container holding our data. Then the value of the value we are storing in our container, which is the my variable, is hello, which is a text, but in programming it is commonly referred to as strings. Okay, so we can print the key feature of the var keyword is that it infers the data type of the value it is assigned. So if I want to know the data type of the value I assigned, I can print runtime type. So this we expect to return a string, since this is a text or a string. So if you have the code runner on, you can just hit Ctrl Alt N and you get the data type to be a string. So that is variable. Now you can also declare a variable this way. So let's say var, my var, go to maybe something. Now one key thing about the var keyword is once it is assigned a string, a number cannot be assigned to it. That is an integer or a boolean. Any other data type cannot be assigned to it anymore. So I can't say my var because maybe Okay, so once I've assigned it a value, say in this case number, I can't say my var equal to hello. It will give me an error. The var keyword always takes the type of the data it is first assigned to. So in this case, it's a number, and then we try to assign the string to it, which is giving us an error. So this is not possible. Now let's look at the various data types we have. We have a string, which is something like this. So either a double quote or a single quote with a piece of characters in it. We have an int, which is a whole number. It can be either negative or positive. And we have a boolean, which is either true or false. And we have a double, which can be something like this. Okay, so if you declare a variable with the var keyword, it is known as explicit typing. So explicit typing uses the var keyword. Now the variable will infer its type from the data it is assigned to. So that is explicit typing. Explicit typing. However, if you initialize a variable with its specific data type, say string name equals John Doe, then in this case you are doing an implicit typing. You are specifying, then in this case you are doing implicit typing. You are specifying the data type with the variable and then the value you have to store. But bear in mind that once you initialize the variable to be a specific data type, it cannot be assigned a different value in different type. So I can say age because maybe mumbo jumbo. This won't work. This will give an error. But we can change it to a different value of the same type, which is completely fine. So we can have a bool is married maybe false. We can have a double, right? So if you want to know the type of your variable, you just use the print, then the variable name, which is height, that's one time type, which we expect it to be a double. Okay, so if you run this, you get the type to be a string, which is really awkward. Where did I print this one? Oh, okay, let me comment this one out. Okay, so we get data type which is double as expected. So that is variables, data types, implicit and explicit functions. As usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support this channel. I'll leave the code in these sessions on my GitHub page. The link will be in the description below, so you can check it out. So assuming you are building an app that takes in data, but you have no idea the data type of the data that will be coming in, but you want to receive this data no matter what. So there is a way you can do this in that, which is by using the dynamic keyword. So dynamic, then you give it a name and assign it a variable. You assign it a value. Now this could also infer the type. So you can say my dynamic +1 type, which is supposed to return a string. So if you run this, with the Control-Alt-N, you get a type to be string, which is as expected a string. Now for var keywords, you can't reassign the same variable to a different value of different data type. However, with dynamic you can. So you can do my dynamic equals a number. Is completely fine. So this time around, if you print my dynamic .runtime type, is going to return an integer. This is completely fine because you are using the dynamic keyword. So this is completely okay since you are using the dynamic keyword. But the dynamic keyword infers the type of the value you assign to it. It can be changed to any value of any data type at all, and it's completely normal and okay. It won't give you any bugs or errors. However, I really suggest you don't use this in any of your applications. It might give you some production errors if you are building production ready apps. Okay, so that is it for implicit, explicit data types and variables. As usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support this channel. See you in another video.